And it all comes down to this. We have ourselves our grand finals matchup, and while maybe the roads to our grand finals not quite the paths that we were expecting, the end destination being the same. LCI Samurai Gold versus EMT Marauders. And we had mentioned before the break, you will see down there at the bottom of your screens, we do have our 5th and 6th place teams, BFCHS Gold and Samurai Green, which will be meeting with not only these two teams for the grand finals, but along with Mel's Voyagers and FMCHS Miners. Those 6 squads will be going off to represent Alberta in that U18 bracket of the National Scholastic Invitational next weekend.
And yeah, we also have the U15 teams that are also making it there as well.
Yep.
To join the U18 teams here in the Nationals here. And honestly, I was looking forward to this final match here. LCI Samurai Gold, EMT Marauders have shown to us throughout this tournament that they are some of the most dominant teams we have in Alberta. But Marauders here near the end showing a little bit of weakness against the Miners and in that 5-game series there, whereas LCI Samurai Gold, they've made it to this finals match undefeated. They haven't had a challenge yet that has seemed to push them more than a game.
So here becomes the question. Does that little bit of a fumble make sure that the Marauders come in on their P's and Q's, or does that truly show that the Giants can bleed? Only time will tell. We do have a best of 5 series, as we have been having pretty well throughout the playoff bracket here for our U18 side of things. So as we do get ready to head on in here, Pepper, who do you think's taking home the dub and in how many games?
I'm gonna have to go for the LCI Samurai Gold here. They've shown throughout the day that they've been able to compete, and maybe while not against the absolute best teams, they still have gone undefeated, which even against teams that are still considered weaker than you and you still consider the favorite, you still have to close out those games. And to close them out in a 3-0, 2-0 fashion is still quite a feat. And on top of that too, I just like the underdog. You know, the underdog versus the 2-time national champions. I gotta root for them, you know.
Gotta root for the underdog. Always love an underdog story for sure. However, something just tells me that the three-peat is going to be hard to deny. So we'll get ready as we move on forward. But hey, it is best of 5. The game number 1, I do expect to be a little bit more of a feeler out game than probably some of our other matchups that we have watched today, just because of the caliber of players that are out here. We do know, I believe we've got 2 grand champs on either side of the pitch, so definitely a very high level of play. So should be a lot of fun to get on into.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to see. I believe that this is definitely going to be a match that rises up, especially compared to a lot of the other matches we've seen today in terms of what these teams have to offer each other.
Let's go ahead and get ready to get on into it. The only game number 5 was the game that we had to join. I would love to see us see a whole game number 5, whole 5 games here in this series right now. It's the grand finals. It does all come down to this. It is LCI Samurai Gold versus EMT Marauders. Let's get down and do what it do.
Oh yeah, moving into this best of 5 here. Like you said, I'm really hoping to go the distance with this, bring us to those 5 games. Some high intensity gameplay. Already we can see the pacing of this game is the fastest that we've seen all day.
I would anticipate that it'll probably even get just a little bit faster once these two teams get the read on one another. We know that the talent is most definitely there for our two teams, and which then also makes me wonder, what kind of series are we in for here, Pepper? We know both teams have the ability to really press the pace and bring all, really run up the score, but is it going to be more about which defense locks it in?
Yeah, I definitely think that could be a factor here. I mean, both teams have shown us all day that they can punch forward, but are they going to be able to take a couple hits?
Not about how much you can get hit, right? It's about it's not how hard you can hit. It's about how many times you can get hit and keep on standing up. The first goal of the game, first goal of this series, will go over to LCI Samurai Gold. See if the Marauders have themselves a quick response in the pocket.
Oh yeah, Mirga being the first one to score that goal, as we saw in the last series with him in it. He is an absolute beast when it comes to putting these shots on net.
Able to find a second one here. An important thing is the fact that Mirga, who we watched earlier, and I said I felt like leads the charge for the squad, doesn't just have to do so by scoring. Mirga also does a very good job of enabling their teammates and giving them phenomenal passes as well. We just saw that there as the Samurai Gold squad is able to take their lead and double it down.
Absolutely, and going up to that 2-0 position's got to be real comfortable for them, given that this is a match where points end up being a little bit more valuable as the caliber goes up. Getting goals is harder.
You would almost anticipate that this will probably be a lower scoring affair just based off of the defenses that we have seen from the two, but you do look at players who are out on the pitch, you know that they all have that individual mechanical skill that we've been seeing on display, and Nick will be able to use it here to find a first for the Marauders and take this lead and cut it in half.
Absolutely, I think it's fantastic here. They're able to cut back from Samurai Gold here and gain back a little bit of ground. Hopefully they can put another one up here and even out the scoreline with 3 minutes remaining in this game.
So far, still plenty of time to be able to make the adjustments needed here, really for both squads, because we had mentioned it earlier on the day, but we haven't really talked about it much since then, how really over a longer series of Rocket League, it's about kind of that back and forth affair. One team makes the adjustments to kind of counter what the other is doing, and then obviously the opposite team has to kind of inverse that. Question will become which of the two has the kind of deepest bag, the most sort of strategies, the most things to be able to really use at their disposal to be able to walk away with the dub here.
Absolutely, and I think that's a great analogy for how the game works as a whole. You know, when you go for your 50-50s on the ball, you know, who comes out on top is typically the one that wins the 50-50. So which one of these teams will be able to be the team that's on top and win the series?
2:15 left, still just 3 goals scored so far. Nick looking to maybe add a fourth and tie things up, but Atop denies it and finds a way to stuff it just before it gets slotted top bins. And now it's Cheetah looking to try and find a way into the orange half. Will be knocked off of the possession. And it is now Nate who has a chance for the Marauders to enter into the blue half. It bounces off. Cash will look for the shot, but it rings just a tad bit high.
Absolutely good rotations here from the side of the Marauders here, being able to bump out one of the members of LCI Samurai Gold here and regain possession of the ball.
Chia looking for the pass across. Mirga had to respect the fact that Atov was still buried deep inside that orange half and couldn't press too far forward. Didn't want to be susceptible to that counter attack. Mirga will be able to rise up here, however, and finds the clear. Alleviates a little bit of the pressure as the Marauders were looking to try and establish a longer possession.
You know, this is just a really fantastic game to watch. You can see how each of the teams take turns with possession of the ball now, really, and they're not overcommitting on one specific play, but rather varying it and trying to make different styles of shots and passes in order to make something of their attempts.
Now, if I were to tell you that there were 10 shots in this game and only 3 shots by one of these two teams, you would probably guess wrong based off of that. The Marauders, though, I feel like if they continue putting shots onto target, they are a team that generally shoots at a pretty good clip. They'll eventually start scoring more. I don't know if we can continue to see the type of efficiency that Samurai Gold has been shooting at. I mean, they've hit 3 of their 5 shots to find the lace, but for now, it will keep them in the lead with just 33 seconds to play in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Samurai Gold's been doing a very good job this game about putting their shot efficiency forward and making sure that when they make those chances, they make them count. And they have so far demonstrated that they're very good at helping each other put those shots forward and be able to make success out of it.
The clear here, 15 seconds for the Marauders. Trying to at least force an overtime. You need one. It's a pass towards Cash. Just can't quite rise up to put that one on the target, but Nate still keeps it alive. Looks for the gather off of the reset, but can't quite keep the handle. Nick keeps it alive. It's off the backboard. It's in the sky. Nate looks for one more opportunity. It won't find its way across the goal line, and Samurai Gold take game number 1.
absolutely impressive game one from both teams. Samurai Gold just showing why they're undefeated so far in this tournament and why they are in the position that they're currently in. Just absolute great team play, great rotations, the way that Mirga and Atov really set up for each other on these plays, and the way that Cheetah's, he's always there for that third man whenever the ball gets out of hand or a mistake happens up in the play. Just absolutely incredible. And from the Marauders, you can still see too, they have very similar glimpses of that, but not as consistent as Mirga and Atov has been.
I had to see if they can lock in here as far as for game number 2. You mentioned the efficiency that they were looking at in game number 1. They definitely looked like the better squad. But this is a long series. It's a best of 5. The Marauders have proven that they can get pushed back against and still find that success. The question becomes, if the Marauders do happen to turn the corner as far as that goes, does Samurai Gold have the ability to bounce back? Because they have only won all day long. You wondered if... You can't help but wonder as far as if they do suffer a defeat, just maybe that turns things around enough where the Marauders feel comfortable here.
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing we haven't seen throughout today is that the Samurai Gold, they have been in such a dominant position for the whole day. They haven't had to face a potential game 5. So if the Marauders bring them to that game 5, I think that they'll have just enough edge in order to make out a win in that game 5.
Go ahead and get down to it as we take off towards the pitch. Game number 2 going to be so huge. We mentioned this is the game where you really have to pivot and focus on if you lose game number 1, because if you send it off to game 3 tied up, you'll feel all right. But even like a team that is the reigning defending champions, if you put yourself into a reverse sweep territory, it really makes the job that much more difficult.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you're this high performing of a team, the less resistance that you can achieve on your way to the top is the best.
Let's keep moving forward here. 45 seconds in. First shots going by, 2 of them in favor of the Marauders, only 1 for Samurai Gold. Looks like as far as for now, still going to be left at that 0-0 score. I feel like what's most important for the Marauders is feeling that kind of the feeling of a lead, because they felt that a lot over the course of the day. But thus far here in the grand finals, they have only been playing from behind. And here in game number 2, it looks like it's no different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're just not getting the touches that they want. Not enough momentum on the ball in order to get it out of their zone. Just not enough boost, enough time here in order to make these plays that they have been making happen. And I think that's primarily due to the fact that Samurai Gold has been punishing them on a lot of the mistakes that they make in terms of their rotations.
You know that the margin for error at the highest of levels is incredibly small. And Samurai Gold, at least thus far, has proven that that is true here today as well. Here's Mirga up in the sky, won't find it, but Atov off the follow-off is just a tad bit wide. Cheetah looks to follow it up from there, but Cash able to read it like a book. And at least as far as for now, the Marauders have been able to weather the storm, but they're going to have to find a way to get the clear, because we're not even 2 minutes in, and Cash has already got themselves a savior medal.
Absolutely. And I mean, just keeping it on the side is incredible to see. I mean, Marauders have been the ones doing this to teams all day long. And Samurai Gold come in and just absolutely show them, hey, you need to be able to play from behind as well. If you can't do so, we'll just take advantage of that.
Can't help but wonder if over on that orange half of the pitch, they're left scratching their heads just a little bit here, halfway through game number 2. As not only are they down in the series, but now in this game as well, they have not really found much success on the offensive end. They're losing in the shots department. They're still looking for their first goal as well. You mentioned this is what they're used to doing against other teams, and they're already running out of time here in the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I just noticed as well with the attempted pinch shot out of midfield with Atov and Mirga is that I believe this team actually has some set plays based off of certain ball positions, because otherwise, that's the second time I think we've seen them do that. And having those set plays against a team like Marauders, who doesn't appear to have anything set, just means that they're going to react all that much faster.
They know exactly, or not know exactly, but they can anticipate where their teammates should be on the pitch, and they can either fix their rotations or fix their passes accordingly. And that really does make the job that much easier. It's 105 seconds left on the clock. We're closing in our final third of play. And while Samurai Gold might be in just a 1-goal lead, it's still a lead nonetheless, and they're going to be able to extend it there as Cheetah punches it home.
That insurance there for LCI Samurai Gold is going to feel nice with a minute 30 left on the clock here. That ability to just sort of relax almost a little bit and play keep away, like you had said earlier, just play safe essentially, is going to be quite nice for them.
Seconds still doable to turn 2 goals around just to force an overtime. And if there's anyone that can do it here in Alberta, you would definitely have to feel like the Marauders is one of them. However, Samurai Gold, they're still showing up and showing out. Is that a third? No, Cheetah shots wide, but it's all bang! And just like that, they go up by 3.
Oh man, and you can see like the mind games between these two players. Like you had Cash RL, I believe, and Mirga standing there waiting to see who's going to touch the ball off the bounce. What are we going to do? Are we going to go up? Are we going to go low? What's the plan here? And those mind games at this level are ultimately what it ends up coming down to, when everyone's individual mastery of what they can do with their car and the ball on the field is reached almost its maximum. Oh, that's gotta hurt for Samurai Gold there, getting the own goal.
It's a tough spot to be in. But you know what? Cheetah says, you know, I've scored enough of them. Let's go ahead and give you 1, I suppose. Good news for Samurai Gold. When you're up by 3, that own goal doesn't nearly sting as much as if it was a 1-goal game or a tie game before that. And with 65 seconds left, the Marauders are still going to need 2 just to force an overtime.
Absolutely. And having that lead, like I said, was just something that is very incredible for them to have in terms of the safety net that it provides in terms of their mental game.
I think the other thing, though, is when it's the 1 goal that gets let up like that is a mistake by the defense, that doesn't really give you the same building blocks as we have talked about multiple times throughout the course of the day for teams like Marauders in a situation like this where you're getting towards the end of the game and you're just like, hey, build up some semblance of offense. Hey, build up some success to build upon going into the following game. If the goals put in by the opposition, I'm not sure if that has quite that same building power. But for our final 15 seconds of game number 2, it's going pretty well the same way the last 4 minutes and 45 seconds have gone, where Samurai Gold just seem to have complete control.
Yeah, and I mean, where you had mentioned there, like the mental game of it being, oh, the only goal that we scored was an own goal from our opponents. That's another element to like the mental game there, where it's like, well, the only thing that we could score was when they scored on themselves. Like, where are we sitting right now? You know, they're playing these mind games. Oh, I'm gonna go for this. I'm not gonna go for this. I'm gonna go for that. I'm not gonna go for this. Right? Those mind games at this level are where teams can really differentiate if they are the absolute best.
Well, it's time to see if they can lock things in here and continue to show, as far as over on that Marauder side, that they are one of the best. We know that they've got the ability to bounce back. We talked about for them, we just saw it in that game number 5, right? But unfortunately for them now, they are going to have to do that not just once, not twice, but 3 times in a row against a Samurai Gold squad who has yet to drop a single game.
Absolutely. And honestly, now that we get to see a team that is really pushing the Samurai Gold team to use everything in their toolbox, I think we finally see why they're undefeated. The plays that they have that are, they know where their teammates are, right? They know their rotations. They know how to score. They know how to play off of each other. They know what to do for their opponents and get in their heads and the mind games and everything. So realistically, that's something that Marauders have to realize that is coming at them, and they're going to have to start responding in kind. Otherwise, Samurai Gold is going to run away with this series and is going to end up winning the final match here.
The Marauders got to really try the best they can to harness the force and start predicting where this thing is going, because it feels like, as far as for now, they've been chasing where it's at. And for the Samurai Gold squad, even when we saw them earlier on in the day, one thing that we really gave them credit for was their ball movement. And while against other teams, maybe the Marauders could simply bully the ball away from their opposition, that hasn't been the case. And instead, Samurai Gold have come in here and had complete control in 6 seconds into game number 3. It's absolutely no different.
Yeah, it looks like Samurai Gold here just bringing in the same thing they've absolutely brought, just absolute masterful prowess of control here and being able to play as a team. Honestly, that one didn't have much to do with the team. That was all Cheetah. It was just a Cheetah show on that one. Absolutely impressive pinch.
Oh, Tom, can you find a second? I thought they were about to imagine going up by multiple goals yet again in a matter of seconds. However, there's still a chance. There's a demo on an 8 that creates some space, but Cash finds the clear, alleviates some pressure. It's a pass coming across, but Cheetah will be there to pop it up and towards the midfield line. Nate looks to settle it, but can't quite find the handle. And as far as for now, it's more of a tug of war around that midfield line.
Yeah, we're just seeing the rotations coming in here, trying to, eke out a little bit of an advantage in terms of control over the ball here. But the double demo is going to come through, which is going to reset the field and hand possession back over to Samurai Gold.
First minute gone by for Samurai Gold. Well, you've got the lead. Check. It's only 1. But they have also been able to keep this Marauders offense in check. That's actually only their first shot that they've been able to find. Meanwhile, Mirga looking to try and find a pass across the pitch. Couldn't quite find it there, but the good news for the Samurai Gold squad is they keep the possession. They bring it back in their hands. And here's now Mirga up in the sky. Second touch, looking to get a little fancy with it. It gets past Nate. That's actually a chance. Passes it over to a dog. Bang! Just like that, Samurai Gold go up by 2.
And it's just those small touches you see, the little bottom lip of the car getting hit by Mirga earlier, just creates these opportunities for them to look for shots that otherwise would have never existed.
2-0 lead here for Samurai Gold. Hold on, does it disappear to 1? No, Mirga from left to right, able to find the save, and now looking to bring this up into the orange half. It will get picked out of his hands, but only for a Tom to pick it back up. It's the give, it's the go. Call them butter because they're on a roll. Samurai Gold go up by 3.
Absolutely incredible play. Like this is the best play I think we've seen from any team so far, and I only think that they can showcase their level of coordination here purely because of how good of a team the Marauders are. If they were not as good as they were, I don't think that we'd be able to see the type of play that we're seeing from Samurai Gold.
Oh, Cheetah, could you find that? No, but it's off the rebound. Mirga looks to punch it home, but Nick will find the save. More pressure forward for the squad in blue as Atab looks to meet him up in the sky. It drops onto the hood of Nick. Nick, however, won't be able to keep the handle thanks to Mirga, who looking for an awkward touch. Whoa, hold on. A squishy to come out for a pass. I'm not sure what we're looking for there, but that just shows the confidence that the Samurai Gold squad is playing with.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. They're going for some incredibly risky touches here, given that they do have a lead, but this is still the 2-time national champion team here. They do have to be worried about them potentially pulling something out.
Mirga looking for the gather, can't quite find it. Nick's going to be able to pick it up, but only towards the midfield line because, again, Samurai Gold doing a great job with meeting with that resistance right at that halfway point. Cheetah off of the sidewall, just can't quite find the handle, but you're going to be all right with that one because it's still continued pressure forward from your teammates. We've spent almost 2/3 of this game down on this Marauder side of the field.
Yeah, it's looking like an absolute dominant show. They got 1 minute and 50 seconds left. This is when the Marauders, if they're going to show signs of life, it has to be now. But with the demo, Mirga is going to be able to put one down, and it's going to be 4-0 for the LCI Samurai Gold.
It's the Kablamo Whammo combo, which allows for Samurai Gold to go up by 4. And it feels like if it wasn't already over, that very well could put things out of reach. It's going to be Nate off of the sidewall, looking to go for a potential opportunity, just one to jumpstart anything for the Marauders, but they continue coming up empty-handed.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate to see here, but just the level of play from both of these teams, being able to push each other, is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, so good here. A minute and 15 seconds left. Has to be a goal here if you're wanting to still have a chance. 3 in a minute is doable, especially for the two-time national champions, but it's got to start here. Instead, it's Mirga from out of nowhere like an RKO, finds a save, gets the clear. Now looking to find a pass towards the middle. I thought a Tom might find the angle, but can't quite. But Cheetah keeps the pressure down on the orange half, and more time ticks away for the Marauders.
The confidence on this Samurai Gold team going for these touches on their net when he has no boost. Mirga just up there, no boost, trying to make plays happen. The rotational expectations of their teammates and the players of their team is so incredibly high.
Oh, Cash is gonna get one. Remember the 10-second rule. It's technically still alive, and if anyone can do it, it's the back-to-back national champions, but you gotta lock it in.
Yeah, they got to make these goals turn around real fast here. Their shot efficiency's got to go up by like 80% or something ridiculous here to make this happen. They got to put these goals downfield now.
You figure just one booming clear could very well solidify the deal here for Samurai Gold, and with taking the possession down this far, they very well could have already done enough. Cheetah up in the sky, looking to send that one towards the net. It's a triple commit, which means there's an opportunity to punch home a fifth. Instead, just simply pushing the ball deeper into orange territory. The final couple of seconds ticking away as Samurai Gold will walk away your Alberta Provincial Qualified champions here in 2025.